So you have been called by God to a higher purpose, maybe even than you set for yourself. And it's important to note that you have been called by God and not by the world, because the world also has a plan for you. It has given you an invitation in the mail along with God's invitation. And it's up to you to make the right choice as to which to accept. And you cannot just throw both of them in the trash because Satan owns the trash can. And if you follow God's will, then you are doing good. But if you are doing anything other than following God's will, you are doing evil. There is no in between. It's either you are doing good by following God's will, and of course you're going to mess up, but if ultimately you are aiming at God, if you've truly believed in Him and accepted Him into your heart, you are going to do good in the world. And if you do anything other than that, any other religion, no matter how close it may seem to Christianity, if it is not the one true God, then it is not God at all. And what exactly is it that you have been called to do? Many people claim that they have accepted Jesus into their heart, that they have believed in God, but they don't fully understand what exactly it is that they are saying. Because what you are saying is that you are willing to make the sacrifices necessary in order to obey God's will above man's will, above your own will, above Satan's will, above, again, anything other than God is evil. And so what does it look like? What does it look like to sacrifice everything for God's purpose, for His will? Because that is what's going to be required of you. Maybe not everything, but enough of yourself is going to be required to be sacrificed that you basically die. Now, not actually die, although maybe, but you die in a way that you must be reborn. Because if you're dead, then you're gone. You can't do anything. So you've got to be brought back to life somehow. And this is why Jesus says that unless you are reborn of the Holy Spirit and not of man, you will not enter the kingdom of heaven. So we aren't making it to heaven unless we sacrifice, or are at least willing to sacrifice so much of ourselves that we die to that sin, to that sacrifice, and are reborn, are resurrected just like Christ was resurrected from the grave. So you are called to terrible, unjust suffering and maybe even death. You are called to be betrayed by your friends, to have people who are closest to you turn their backs on you. You've invited Satan to come and try to tempt you personally, because if you are truly a follower of God, you're going to know it, because Satan is going to come after you. He's going to come after you in your dreams. He's going to tempt you in all sorts of ways that you've never even experienced before. And it is only by the strength and the wisdom given to us and of God Himself that is going to allow us to overcome and rule over that sin and temptation. So you should also be accepting this with joy. You should be willing to accept the sacrifices necessary in order to fulfill what it truly means to believe in God. Because what it is sacrificing what you love most for what God says is best. And what God says is best is always best, because in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth, and every single time He makes something, and God saw that it was good. And behold, God saw all that He had made, all the good that He had made, and behold, it was very good. Everything that God makes, every word that comes out of His mouth, every command that He gives to us is good. So if you want to know what good is, you can start by telling yourself that it's the opposite of evil, because we seem to understand very well what evil is. And good is the opposite of that. And who is good? God alone. So what does it mean to accept it? It means that you change your line of sight. You change your goals. You change your future for God. You change your whole life. Whenever you willingly sacrifice all of these things and willingly accept Christ into your heart, you die of sin and are reborn, everything about you changes. Your beliefs, the way that you talk to others, the things you do every single day, the goals that you have, the plans for your future, what you love and what you hate, everything changes. And that shows you how bad of a life you were living before. It's amazing to hear success stories of people. But where there is a success story, there also lies a time where there was no success. A time where there was pain and there was suffering and there was no hope. That's how we were before we came to Christ, if you've come to Christ. Hopeless, purposeless, having no meaning, no true goal. So accepting Jesus, accepting the truth, that is what's required to become the person who God has called you to be. And that all starts by understanding that you have been called by God.